everyone. This is Coffee Break with Jimmy. Today is the 9th of November, and tomorrow will be the 10th of November, which is the Marine Corps birthday. You see my EGA right here behind me here, the flag there. That's Eagle. The statue of Iwo Jima, then planting the flag on top of Mount Suribachi. But tomorrow's the Marine Corps birthday, and of course the 11th of November is Veterans Day. So that's pretty much the next couple of days, and it's kind of always been that way. And so tomorrow at 0700 we'll meet at a place called the Elks Lodge here in town, and we'll have a birthday party. They'll play taps, and we'll salute the flag and so on and so forth, and then we'll have breakfast. In fact, I'll take my enlisted man's sword that I have, and we'll cut the cake with that sword, and it's kind of traditional. And we'll have cake tomorrow. We'll hear from the Commandant of the Marine Corps, probably the Sergeant Major of the Marine Corps also. And it'd be nice if we maybe hear from the President of the United States, or maybe the Secretary of War. Of course, it's all recorded because it's 7 o'clock at different times across the United States. You know why everybody's having their birthday party. Well, we do this every year. But that's what we're going to do the next couple of days, and that's kind of traditional. In fact, I did want to mention a friend of mine that's every year I send him the Marine Corps birthday. In fact, he put the Marine Corps birthday on a couple of times himself, and we're in transition for different places. We're going to, like out our memorial building, we had it there one time for a long time. We had the Salvation Army, we'd have it there, and then now we have it at the Elks building, and he's the one that set it up to have it at the Elks building, but his name is Bruce Livingston. And I just found out this morning, I saw his wife, Noreen, and I asked her how he was doing, where he was at, and I didn't know. But he had passed away a couple of months ago. And so we're going to do a tribute for him tomorrow. And he's not a Marine, he's a corpsman. And corpsmen are always invited. In fact, just about anybody in the military is invited to the Marine Corps birthday party. If you get invited by another Marine there, that's fine. But Bruce was a Navy corpsman. He was in Vietnam, that era. I didn't even know he was 80 years old. I thought he was maybe early 70s, early to mid 70s, but he was 80 years old already, and I didn't know that. But here's to you, Bruce. Sorry to hear that you're gone, but I guess they're going to have a tribute for you tomorrow at the birthday party. So that's kind of a sad thing for me, because I just found this out here not too long ago, just a couple hours ago. So anyway, we'll celebrate our Marine Corps birthday tomorrow, and we'll celebrate Veterans Day on Tuesday, on the 11th. And so that's the excitement we're going to be having here in the next couple of days. And actually, it's for me, November is kind of a celebratory month. You know, a lot of birthdays. My sister's birthday is November the 1st, and I have two nephews on the 4th and the 6th. Their birthdays there, and my brother Dave was on the 12th of November. My birthday is the 22nd of November. In fact, the 22nd of November, when I was 3 years old, that was the day John F. Kennedy was assassinated. It always correlates with that. And then, of course, Thanksgiving's in November. So there's a lot of celebratory days for me in the month of November. But yeah, we want to talk a little bit about the government, the shutdown of the government. And I think we all know that the shutdown is because they want Medi-Cal or Medicare for illegal aliens that are here from other countries, and to get free medical. And we have 20 million or better, maybe it was 30 million people that crossed our border here illegally. Here in the last 4 years, prior to Trump's his administration taking over, and when he became president. But while Biden was president, I don't even think he knew about it. But Mayorkas said that the border was secure, and it was never secure. So the one thing, this bill, that they're trying to pass here, it's still the same thing that they passed with Biden. It's the same thing, and they're negotiating the different parts of the bill, and they're going to negotiate after it gets you know, voted in, which is going to take 60 votes. We need 5 more votes from Democrats because all the Republicans, with the exception of one, that's Rand Paul, that didn't vote for it. But all the other Republicans voted for it to pass, so we can fund the government. So in the meantime, there's service members, there's the air traffic controlman. I think there's, I believe there's some police departments, law and order that's not getting. There's several different organizations not getting paid right now because the government isn't funded. And this is all a political thing, a political stunt. Schumer's putting it through. There's those that are saying that he doesn't want to primary AOC for his Senate seat, and I don't know how she can even think about it because I don't think she wouldn't be able to beat him in a primary anyway. But she is pretty popular. She's part of the squad, and this socialism squad, Milan Omar and others that are that the socialist, like the socialist mayor that just, this Johan Mondami, he just got elected mayor of New York. And this guy's never, what is he, 33 years old? He's never even had a job, much less run the biggest city in the United States. And a city that, controls, come on, they got all the trade, all the trades done, like, well, the trade centers there in New York, and there's a lot of things that this guy's going to, 350,000, don't quote me on the number, but he's 350,000 police officers that he's going to be in charge of, something like that. A lot of police officers, a lot of fire department, and he's going to be in charge of all this. He's going to be in charge of New York City. And, well, I guess they say he'll probably fail. Well, he probably will, but at the same token, even President Trump says he doesn't want him to fail. He wants him, because he loves New York, and he wants New York to be sound, and he doesn't want it to fail. But at the same token, this is something that's going to affect the Democrats. Now, when you think about it, was Virginia, New Jersey, they had governors that was being elected there in those particular states. They're blue states anyway. Now, I know the governor of Virginia was Glenn Youngkin. He was a Republican, and that was the first governor, a Republican governor in the state of Virginia in some time. And 30 years, 35 years, I don't know, was the last time we had a governor of the state of New Jersey, maybe 35, 40 years ago. But even like they had Proposition 50 here in the state of California, so they gerrymander the state of California so they get more representatives and the House of Representatives from California. They can get anywhere from 4 or 6, I believe, different representatives the way they realigned everything. Now, the way I understand it, as far as the gerrymandering in California, because I'm from California, okay? We don't have that much representation as far as the House of Representatives goes. Of course, there's 2 senators, and they're both Democrats. The Democrat Party has run California for the last 15, 20 years anyway. And, of course, now if you're running for governor in the state of California, well, all the primaries are done with Republicans and Democrats together. They primary together, and the 2 top vote getters get to run against each other for governor. So I mean, if the 2 top primary vote getters are both Democrat, well, then they get to run against each other for the governor of the state of California, which I don't think is fair because we don't have any representation as far as the governor goes. And same thing with our assembly, our state, our state Senate and the state assembly, the same way. It's all done the same way. So we don't have that much representation here in the state of California. But to what I say, to the Democrats of the state of California, look around you. Look, I mean, we have the 5th largest? They say 5th. Some say 4th. Some say 6th largest economy in the world here in the state of California, and it's gone to hell. Come on, it's not working. It hasn't been working for some time. I mean, I can just go use one example, and that's this this high-speed rail to nowhere. It's supposed to go from Los Angeles to San Francisco, and that's mainly going to anyone that works in San Francisco or Los Angeles. It can be in either city in within the hour or so by this high-speed rail because it's supposed to be pretty fast. But it's only going from Bakersfield to Merced at this point in time, and they haven't laid 1 foot of track yet. But yet it's already cost more than 10 times the amount that it was supposed to cost. Now you tell me what that means. Gavin Newsom, I mean, this has been his baby, and it started before him. But this has been his baby from the start, and it's gone nowhere. And so that's a lot of money that us California have spent. I mean, we pay the highest in taxes. I mean, maybe even New Jersey's might be a little bit higher, or New York might be higher than California. I don't know, but I know they're up there like California is as far as taxes. The price of food, the price of gas, everything is higher than anywhere else in the country. And that's because of the way the state's run. And it's been run by Democrats forever. So what I'm asking, or what I'm saying is to all the Democrats here, you need to come over to the common sense side. The Republican Party, the common sense party here in the state of California. You need to start voting that way. Because, okay, maybe this Proposition 50 that was passed, it was just passed here. And of course, the Democrats said, oh, yeah, we won this and we won that. Well, these were blue states anyway. Chances are you're going to win anyhow. But especially when they harvest votes. Here in California, they harvest votes like crazy. I remember at one time, we were trying to recall Gavin Newsom. So we're taking numbers. They had to have, I don't know, 750,000 signatures or something like that. Don't quote me on the number because I'm not for sure what the number is, but we had to have a large amount of signatures to recall Gavin Newsom because he wasn't doing a good job as governor of California. Well, I live in the Central Valley here. We're largely, and this goes both ways. It goes some liberal, some Republican. It goes both, but it's a little more Republican here, a little more than it is Democrat here in the Central Valley. And but when we got signatures, the people that I got signatures from when I did it, because we all worked together. I belonged at the time was called the Tulare County Republican Assembly, and so we all took turns in taking signatures, sitting down, getting signatures from different people to sign to recall Gavin Newsom. Well, I would say 60 to 70% of the people that I signed, that I talked to, were Democrats that were trying to get Gavin Newsom recalled. But yet, I don't know, I think we lost like 75 to 25%. We lost to the Democrats on recalling Gavin Newsom. So what I'm saying is a lot of people that voted, I think, is part of this the harvesting of the votes. We do that here in the state of California quite a bit, and I think that's why we lose a lot of votes here in California. And I think that's why having your driver's license, your identification, I think that's needed here. So that way people just can't harvest different votes. I mean, they get somebody that has, they got the votes. Here's our voting. You can do this for me and vote for me and this sort of thing, and then they vote the way they want. That's what the Democrats do here in the state of California. And there's other states that do the same thing. But this gerrymandering here in the state of California, my son explained it to me how it works. I knew they would draw different lines on where they vote. But just say, for instance, okay, now hear me out on this, because I don't know if exactly this is how it works, but it sounds about right. Because I was looking at the state of California, and where the northern part of California, a big part of it, northern part of California, which would be the eastern part, was all red. And these were representatives, which there was a lot of rural areas up there where there's not a whole lot of people. There's just large areas. It covers large areas. And they would have like 2 to 4 representatives in that area. Okay. But the way they drew it up, if you take Sacramento and the Sacramento vicinity, this is all largely in part liberal areas. Of course, this all kind of filters in from the Bay Area. And if you draw, like, you make it, say a pie. Make a pie in San Francisco, or not Sacramento, and you divvy it up going all the way up to the northern part of the state, and you have these certain areas, and with part of the pie, the bigger part of the pie as far as the population goes, is part of San Francisco or Sacramento, excuse me, and vicinity. That's a lot of liberal votes in that area that's going to spread out to these other areas that are conservative but less populated. And what that does, it makes it more, it makes it all blue actually. It gets rid of all the red. So if you had a couple extra seats there up in Northern California, um, well, they're going to be gone now because of the way they're gerrymandered, they're redrawing the lines for voting in the state of California. And if you go down into the valley, that's the only red part of the state is the valley. And that really doesn't really, because you got Fresno, which is large in part liberal because it's a big city. I don't think Bakersfield is really liberal, but they could have quite a few in Bakersfield. But you take the bigger cities, but you have other smaller cities that are actually all kind of conservative. You really can't gerrymander this part of the state. Although they're saying that Valadeo, his area where that was cut up before when Valadeo and Kevin McCarthy was actually and then you had Devin Nunes. Well, Devin Nunes, when he gave up his seat, when he gave up, being a congressman, he was my congressman actually. And when he gave up his seat, that seat got divided up where now they only got Valadeo and now it's Fong, not even McCarthy anymore, it's Fong now. And that's the two seats that were here. There was 3 seats in this area, in the Central Valley here, Tulare, Kings, and Kern counties. But now it's only 2 seats. And so they're saying they're going to lose, even you go down further down south, the San Diego area, they're going to do the same thing down there, kind of like a pie kind of thing. You get the major cities where you got a lot of the votes are going to be, and they're all liberal mainly. And they're going to filter out into the rural areas where it's more conservative, like Darrell Issa, they said he could lose his seat. And Darrell Issa has been a congressman for a long time down in the San Diego area down there. But all that's going to be blue now. So you only got one little section of California that's going to be red, and that's only going to be like, 7 seats maybe at best? Anywhere from 4 to 7 seats in the state of California. It's got 54 seats. Okay, so that's what gerrymandering does. It gets more seats into Congress for the Democrats. And they've done this. They're doing this back east somewhere in a couple of states back there they're working on. And they're saying that's all because of Texas. Now, I don't know exactly why, but apparently the Democratic Party sued the state of Texas because they set things up to where they're going to get a few more congressmen there in the state of Texas. But this was something that was done several years ago. It's going to go back to the same thing that it was before, and they're going to get their seats back. Is basically what it is. I don't know exactly how that works out, but the Democrats saying, well, California's going to do it now. West Virginia, or not West Virginia, but North Carolina is going to do it, and there's a couple other states that are going to do it. I think North Carolina is going to be more Republican. They're going to get more Republican seats there. But they're going to gerrymander in other states to where they're going to try to get more seats for the House of Representatives. Now, I guess we're going to have to wait and see how it goes, but there should be something that's illegal about that, especially in California. We had a special election, Proposition 50. That's all we voted on. Is where they can gerrymander and divide and draw the new lines in the state of California where they would get anywhere from 2 to 6 extra seats in the House of Representatives. And I think that's wrong. Well, California's been doing this for a long time. So what I say to you, Democrats in California, those of you that are moderate, middle of the road, think about it. Think about how the state of California, why we spend more money for food, where we spend more money for gas, we spend more money on taxes, period. And I mean, come on, to register your cars, it's outrageous. You go to Oregon. Oregon's got its problems too because it's a liberal state. Same thing with Washington, but at least they got it to where you pay what is it, $20 or $50 to register your car. In California, I got to pay like $800 to register my truck. That's ridiculous. And some other states have it where, like in Nevada, they'll have states where they paid every other year to register the vehicle. But not California. California, they really stick it to you, and they stick it to you in every way they can. So Democrats, I'm telling you, you got to start voting differently. We got to start doing something different, because you know what? This Democrat, especially this far left socialism idea, that's going to have a domino effect on the rest of the country, like going on with Mondami in New York. We have to wait and see how that happens, because he's elected now. So we'll wait and see how that happens. Now, the way I understand it, now this could be something that could come to effect here, but apparently Pam Bondi, she's looking into some of the donors that donated to Johann Mondami. And apparently some of the people that donated were from out of this country. You're not supposed to donate from out of the country. You're supposed to donate from, well, and like in Mondami's place, you're supposed to have the donors supposed to come from New York. Or at least at best, no more than the United States, but other countries. The Attorney General of the United States, Pam Bondi, said something to that effect. I don't know for sure, so don't quote me on this, but I think this might be something that they're going to work on, to see if in fact they did get some donors from other countries. I don't know that that's legal. So he doesn't take over the mayor's job until the 1st of January. So we got until now, from now until then, to figure out if he's done everything that's on the legal side. But I definitely look into it. And there's other states. There's mayors in some cities in Minneapolis or Minnesota anyway. I'm not sure if it's Minneapolis, but there are some cities over there that are getting these far left governors, not governors, but mayors that are going to get elected, and that's what they're doing. They're trying to. I mean, when you want to become a citizen of the United States, and you come here and you do it legally, you come over here legally, you immigrate here legally, and you want to become part of the United States, you have to assimilate into our country and how our country, if you go back to, let's just say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands. It's one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We have to assimilate to that. You can't come in here and say, okay, we want to go by the Quran or whatever laws that the Quran has, and have different states because they have more people there that are Muslim. Well, you can't do that. You got to assimilate to the United States. That's why we have our national anthem. You know what I mean? And if you know anything about the national anthem and how it was developed and how it was done by Francis Scott Keys, it's really, one of these days I'll play that. Well, not to play. I'll just tell you the story one of these days about it, about how the national anthem was written. It's really it's really powerful. But that's part of being the assimilation of being an American, coming here from another country and assimilating to our ways and our laws and so on. But there's a lot of people that are coming here that are not doing that, especially the ones that are illegal right now. And that's why Trump and ICE is getting Trump. The ICE is out getting the bad people anyway, mostly the bad people. But others that are illegal here, if they're illegal and they catch you, well then they're going to send you back to your other country. Now there are things I know. They're saying that if you turn yourself in, or you go back to your other country, and then you can come back the right way, they'll let you. But if they catch you and they send you back to your country, then you don't have a chance of coming back. So if you really want to be part of this country and you're serious about being part of this country and immigrating to this country and doing the right thing, well then you should go back home and then do it the right way, instead of just coming over because somebody has a gate open and just letting you walk right through it. But all this stuff here, that's this stuff, we're being shut down. People aren't getting paid. The other big shutdown for some time, I guess, was part of Trump's other, when he was president, back in 2016. And the Democrats are using this. They're using this that whatever they can do to stop Trump from doing what he's doing. Now, Trump has always been an outsider, so to speak. Although he's doing a better job than any other president we've ever had, and especially in my lifetime. You know, the tariffs, the things that he's doing with tariffs, other countries. I mean, he's been saying this for a number. He said this for a number of years before he even ran for president. He said we're getting ripped off. We're getting ripped off by our own country, much less other countries are ripping us off. So Donald Trump wants to do the right thing. So he's doing tariffs instead of having federal income tax. Well, it used to be done by trade, and tariffs from what we did with other countries. Of course, each state would have to pay into the federal income tax, or however they do that. But it wasn't a direct federal income tax. That was done after World War One and World War Two, and they just kept it in place. And they stopped doing the tariffs. But we can actually be out of debt in 4 years with Trump because of what he's doing. He's getting other countries and other people to invest in the United States and getting trillions and trillions of dollars already. And this is not even the first year has gone by yet. That doesn't happen until January. We've got 10 months or 9, 10 months of his presidency, and he's already getting a lot of investments from other countries. But Trump is doing the right thing. Now they keep saying that this I guess there's 9 or 10 senators that are actually talking. They're moderate senators, and they're actually talking to the rest of the Senate about voting. These are Democrat senators. They're going to vote with the Republicans to reopen this country because all it's going to do is do the same thing. And this is what you call an omnibus bill. That they got that covers everything. And they have the different bills that cover each section of that has to be attended to. For for the infrastructure, for medicine, for everything that has their own bills separately, and they're going to discuss all that. They're going to work on that between the Senate and the House of Representatives, and that's what they're supposed to do. Okay, even was it Senator Fetterman? He's a Democrat, and he says, "Hey, this is the way it's supposed to be done," and he's a Democrat, and the guy really believes in the way that this is supposed to be. And I think if other Democrats will follow his lead, we can open the country back up again, and so everybody can get paid. Because here it is coming close to Thanksgiving. There are going to be people that are going to be going about Thanksgiving dinner. They're not even going to be able to travel because of they're going to be shutting down some more airport. I think that 10% of it's already been shut down, maybe a little bit more. And by the time it gets closer and closer to Thanksgiving, they haven't opened up yet. They're going to have 50% of air travel is going to be shut down altogether. And so a lot of people aren't going to be able to do the things they want to do for Thanksgiving. Not to mention Christmas is just around the corner also. But you think about our military that's not getting paid. I mean, that's ridiculous. This is our military. They're not paying them. They're not paying air traffic controllers. They're not paying certain parts of our country that needs to be paid as part of being the government, being open and being able to pay everybody. So I guess we'll have to wait and see what that happens. They got to have a special session going on today, I guess. And there are some senators that are wanting to do it. So anyhow, there's so much stuff going on right now. But it's all because Donald Trump is on the outside. And, he said for a long time, they've been ripping us off. What do you think about it? They have been ripping us off. And Donald Trump knows this. And because he has the power, the knowledge, he has his own money to get him into a place where you're not going to, you're not going to have donors in there saying, okay, we want you to do this, we donate to it. Well, no, he's not going to do that. He's not going to play that game. It's for the people. This is all for the people, what he does this for. And I think a lot of the Democrat donors, the wealthy, they don't like him. Why? Because he's going to get rid of their cash cow. They've been making money. Look at Nancy Pelosi. She's supposed to retire now after next year. Well, a person that made $150,000 a year being a congresswoman, and she's worth what, $20 million or more, $50 million? She's worth a lot of money, in the millions, because of her insider trading, whatever she's done. I mean, come on, maybe she is a good trader. I don't know. I have no idea, but she's worth a lot of money, and there's a lot of people, and that are senators and congressmen that have been making a lot of money. This is their cash cow. And Donald Trump is going to take that away from them because he knows what's going on. He knows what's really happening. And that's what they're afraid of. Because all of a sudden, it used to be, 20 years ago? Everybody liked Donald Trump. Because they thought he was a Democrat. Okay? And everybody liked him. He was on Oprah Winfrey show and different shows that he was on. Everybody liked Donald Trump. But now he's coming out and he said, no, this isn't happening anymore. We're not going to let you rip us off anymore. Well, then all these people, all these congressmen, these lobbyists and different people making money off of us, he's going to get rid of their cash cow. So you think about that. So Democrats, especially here in the state of California, start thinking about it. It's not working here. It's not working. And it's not going to be good for your kids or mine or our grandkids for that matter. And we got to do something different because it's not working. In other states, if you're looking to have Gavin Newsom come in to be president someday and maybe 28, don't even think about it because look at what he's done to California. Okay? And Gavin Newsom, he's just carrying the torch for other governors and senators, and the state of California is just slowly but surely is destroying this state. So you don't want to use a template of what California has done and what Gavin Newsom has done here in the state of California for the United States because it'll destroy the country. So anyway, enough of that now. But hopefully this special session that they're having today, maybe tomorrow, the next day, maybe next couple of days, it's already gone, 39 days or 40 days it's been shut down. Maybe they'll open it up again before Thanksgiving, and that'd be really nice. So this is Coffee Break with Jimmy. Please subscribe, press the like button, share, and hit that notification bell so you know next time that I'm on. Thank you very much. And all you Marines out there, Semper Fi. We'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow's our birthday. Talk to you later. Bye.